can all see I'm wearing a hoodie that says Lone Peak on it here at the airport, and just spent a great day with some kids, which is going to take us to our message this week. Our kids are going through a lot of challenging times and going through a lot of struggles, no different than us adults, trying to prevent injuries, trying to be better leaders. Kids trying to stay positive and upbeat during challenging times. And our Knights of Lone Peak were kind enough to host me. We need to stop our suicide rate as well. And so I wanted to talk about the power of incrementalism and how to keep an upbeat spirit, and the power of leadership, and how we can reach zero harm in our places of work, and what we can do to be better leaders in that area, in that realm, and how we can have greater influence on the youth of our generation, perhaps the children in your home, your grandchildren, your posterity. So in order to convey this message to you, I wanted to take you back about 10 years ago. I was determined to set a world record in my wheelchair, and as a C4, C5 quadriplegic, pushed my wheelchair further than anybody with my level of circumstance had ever pushed before, from Salt Lake City to the Mirage in Las Vegas, a distance of 513 miles. Now I want you to know that as I left on July 11th, 4 o'clock in the morning, back in the early 2000s, there was a lot of people there to send me off. Thousands, video cameras from ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, and I felt really good and motivated. I felt like I could do it. And perhaps like some of you feel when you have a safety talk, or when you hear a TED talk, or when you read some verses in your scriptures, or whatever it might be for you that makes you feel upbeat, whatever that is, that gives you that little boost of energy that makes you believe that you can do it. That's how I felt that day. I felt great. And that carried me through the first couple of days. But on day number 3, I hit headwinds. You guys know what headwinds are. It's adversity, challenge, struggles, divorce, drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography. We can go on and on and on. Pinch points, is it lockout, tagout, challenges in the workforce, challenges in a relationship and marriage. I had headwinds, but it wasn't bad. It was just 5 miles an hour. But I found myself having to push my chair, even going downhill, and I thought, man, day number 3, and I'm not even a 25% to my destination. Am I ever going to get there? Is this even possible? Day number 4, I hit a place called Beaver Mountain, a mountain that increases in over 3,000 feet in just 2.5 miles. I want you all to know that it took me 3 days to get up that puppy. 3 days just to do those couple of miles. And I wondered if I would ever finish the race. But I learned through that experience with that mountain that with every up, there comes a down. And sooner or later, that downside comes where it becomes a little easier. And I did hit 37 miles an hour in this wheelchair, which death is an option when that happens. As we approached Mesquite, Nevada, which is just 87 miles away, I want you all to know that I gave up. So not very many people know about that, but it's something that is worthy of sharing with all of you. I did give up. I told my parents that I was finished. I told my wife that I was finished. I told the entourage, the police entourage, the escorts, everybody that I was done. I mean, who would fault me? I did the best that I could do. I was sick. I was tired. I wasn't feeling good. And my dad came to my side and he said, "Son, I'm proud of you. You did a good job. Well, we'll take you home. But I noticed, son, that you've been looking at the green mile markers on the side of the road." And I said, "Yeah, that's how I mark my progress, Dad." He said, "Maybe you should do something different and start looking at the little things that you're doing right, and start looking at the yellow mile or the yellow markers in the middle of the road instead of the green mile markers. The yellow markers come faster." It took me a second to buy into that. I thought it was silly at first, but that night I pushed about 2,300 yellow stripes. And the next day I went out and I pushed just a little over 6,000 yellow stripes. And we hit Apex Junction, which is just 17 miles away from my destination. I hit that at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. You can see the Mirage from there. You can see the Sphere. You can see Treasure Island. You can see the MGM. You can see everything that early in the morning when it's dark outside. And we waited until 9 o'clock that morning on day number 11. And at 9 o'clock, I just gave one little tap of the wheels, and I coasted my way down in the Mirage. And when I arrived at the finish line, there went up a cheer that made me cry. And I realized that what my father said was true. It's not the biggest things that make the biggest difference in our lives. It's the little things that you and I focus on that make it the biggest difference and allow us to be more proactive, allow us to be safer at work, allow us to be better leaders. It's the little things that I have chosen to do that have allowed me to be a better father, like not missing my kids' games, letting my wife know that I sure appreciate her and love her other than Valentine's Day, an anniversary, or her birthday. Learning how to first get on slacks and then move to jeans and then zip up a zipper on the hoodie and use buttons and focus on just doing one thing at a time that have allowed me to do things like today I'm traveling from Jacksonville at an airport by myself.